Grand Rising family is Shay Seeking, and we're going to talk about human leather, the fur trade, and different things to this extent today. So, I found this article here. So I know this is not. I found this while I was trying to pull a whole bunch of information about the fur trade and how I feel like low key some of this stuff that has to do with the fur trade has to do with the tanning or skinning of American Aborigines and hair and other things of the Aborigines used for things as far as the mythical story, okay, about Abraham Lincoln using some of the, or one of these, maybe just because I'm on his story right now is why I'm thinking him. But one of these former presidents that God chose to preside over the day and the night, okay, um, or the American Aborigines and the foreigners that came over here with them. Um, Again, that's not to uh, try to be ugly. I'm just stating what the facts are. Okay. So, yeah. So I just wanted to look into this a little bit and I've started to come up with a little bit of information. I just wanted to share this article with you guys. I have not read through the article myself, but I'm going to go ahead and read through it with you guys today. Um, so we can kind of go a little bit deeper in this on this subject. Okay, so it says human leather, and this is from Ferris State University, the Jim Crow Museum of Racist Memorabilia. Okay, so it says human leather, April 2013. Question: I don't mean to sound morbid, but I have heard that skin of slavery era black people was sometimes used as clothes. It is probably an urban legend. Now, I had heard of the same urban legend to say at some of the Capitol buildings and some of our governing or governing institutions that some of the furniture and the chairs in particular there have been made, whether now or in the past, with the skin of uh, originals. Okay, so that was the one that I heard of. So um, I don't know. So it says, answer. Unfortunately, there is some truth to what you ask. I have read about many deplorable practices that occurred during slavery and Jim Crow in this country. I have not, I have no interest in ranking these atrocities, but I can tell you that the account that troubled me the most was about the flesh of the dead Africans or American Aborigines. Okay, and African Americans being used to make shoes. I believe I first read about this in archives of Moulton, um, whatever journal, but I could be wrong. I do not believe that this practice was widespread or long lived, but it did occur. Maybe it was. Maybe it would be best if I attach a newspaper transcript that details the practice. It is gruesome, but then so was slavery and Jim Crow. Okay, which is true. Okay, so Dr. David Pilgrim, and again that surname, curator, Jim Crow Museum of Racist Memorabilia, leather from human skin, Philadelphia News, printed in the Mercury, Saturday, March 17th, 1888. Okay. I remember that 2 or 3 years ago, I accidentally referred to a prominent physician of this city wearing shoes made from skin of Negroes. He still adhered to that custom, insisting that the tanned hide, again, when it comes to the art of tanning, because remember in George Washington's and Abraham Lincoln's family lineage, we're now starting to see that they were tanners. And the thing that brought me to this was watching a story about some European that came over to the Americas and pretended that he was, and I think this is on some documentaries about Canada. And I can't remember exactly what his name was right at the moment, but I'll probably add it in, when I do the video. But he was well known in that area. Um, and I think they were telling a story about him being a tanner or him being someone that was a trader, and then seeing that the act and that these people, the way that the girl was explaining it in the video, just made me think we're not talking about no. It was about the beaver, right? The beaver was what he, like the guy in the documentary said, was what he chose to call the situation. Well, what situation, right? See, because this is the way that they cover up the truths. Okay, by looking at you as the animal kingdom and using animals to refer to people. I think he was talking about beaver pelts. But again, the way that this girl that had kind of afro curly hair, but she was light skinned, was talking about this matter, it bothered her. And the way that I could read from her is that there was more to the story. Okay, and maybe I'll on the second part of this I'll show that clip. Okay, so that he saw that it was wrong and they were just like us and everything. I'm thinking he's not talking about no damn beavers, okay? So anyhow, let's keep moving, okay? So he still adhered to that custom, insisted that the tanned hide of an African makes the most enduring and the most pliable leather known to man. Okay, it's because again we do have organ harvesting doesn't stop with your heart and your lungs. It is your just your whole makeup, and it's the matter or the substance of your pineal gland. It's your skin. I think that they also pass off as lamb or lambskin leather. Okay, we'll look at some of that and look how eerie it kind of looks if you think about how some people's skin looks. And then there's just a lot of different, yeah. Okay, so I don't know. I think I'm kind of bothered by speaking about this, so just bear with me. Um, yeah. So I said, and them talking about how they were trading and sending off, and I'm thinking, wait a minute. And this has to do with the Canadian natives helping the Americans with doing these things. It's starting to kind of get lead to something bigger. Okay, so anyhow, like I was saying, it's not just your body parts in that sense. There's more that they would like to have. Okay, so enduring the most pliable leather known to man. Only last week I met him upon the street with a brand new pair of shoes. I looked at his footwear as I always do. His pedal covering have an irresistible fascination for me, and said with a smile, um, "Is the downtrodden African still beneath your feet?" Um, in the most matter of fact way. And without a shadow of a smile, he answered, I suppose you mean to inquire if I still wear shoes made of skin of negro. I certainly do, and I do not propose changing in that respect until I find a leather that is softer and will last longer and present a better appearance. I have no sentiment about this matter. Were I a southerner, in the American sense of the word, I might be accused of being actuated uh, by a race prejudice. But I am a foreigner by birth, although now an American citizen by naturalization. I fought in the rebellion that the blacks might be freed. I would use a white man's skin for the same purpose if it were sufficiently thick. And if anyone has a desire to wear my epidermis, Okay, upon their feet, after I have drawn my last breath, he has my innate mortem permission. The doctor's shoes always exhibit a peculiar, rich, lustrous in their blackness. He assured me that they never hurt his feet. The new pair he was using was, when I saw him last, he emitted no uh, creaking sound and appeared as comfortable as though they had been worn a month. Their predecessors, he told me, had been a constant use for 8 months. He obtained the skins from the bodies of Negroes which have been dissected in one of our big medical colleges. The best leather is obtained from the thighs, the soles, and the soles are formed by placing several layers of the leather together. The skin is prepared by a tanner, okay, at Wamsdorf, whatever, 16 miles from Reading. The shoes are fashioned by a French shoemaker in this city who knows nothing of the true character of the leather, but who often wonders at its exquisite smoothness and says that it excels the finest French calf skin. See, do not for a moment think that this doctor presents an exceptional case of one who puts the human skin to a practical use. Medical students frequently display a great variety of articles in which the skin or bones of some dissected mortals has been gruesomely utilized, and in bursts of generosity they sometimes present these to their friends, who prize them highly. Who of the dudest dudes in town carries a match safe covered with a portion of the skin of a young, beautiful woman who was found drowned in Delaware River? It still retains its natural color. Another young man with whom I am acquainted carries a cigar case made of Negro skin. A ghastly skull and crossbone appeared on one side in relief. One of the best known surgeons in this country who resides in the city has a beautiful instrument case entirely covered with leather made up from African skin. A young society lady of the city wearing a beautiful pair of dark slippers, the remarkable lustrous of whose leather invariables excites the look at okay excites the admiration of her friends when they see them. The young doctor who presented them to her recently returned from an extended foreign tour, and he told her that he had purchased them from a Turk in Alexandria, and that he did not know what sort of leather they were made of, but he supposed it was the skin of some wild animal. Okay? See what I'm trying to tell you? As a matter of fact, the skin came from a Negro cadaver, which was once prone on the Jefferson College the dissecting table, and the leather was prepared in Wamsdorf, whatever. The rosettes on the slippers were definitely fashioned from the Negro's kinky hair. Okay, and this is from the Mercury, Saturday, March 17th, 1888. Okay, so again, sorry for stumbling so much in the article, but I really do not want to have to redo the video, so it's just going to be how it is. I want to thank you guys for watching. I have to move on. Okay, so that we can find out more information about this. And again, yes, they have used hair. They use the hair of and it almost reminds you of God cutting the hair of certain individuals in the Bible, or having it ordered to be cut. Uh, Also, scalping. You can look at scalping in a different light as well. They always show you this hair that's very stringy and everything like that. But again, I don't know. I doubt that that was the case. I think that, whatever the visual depiction is, it could always be something else, because the information that we're obtaining is from sometimes biased individuals that have their own agenda when they put forth this information. So again, I want to thank you guys for watching, and take care. Don't forget to comment, rate, or subscribe, and join us on Facebook in the group American Aborigines Unchained, or on Instagram at Shay Seeking, for more information and kind of different types of posts like this. Thanks a lot for watching again, and take care.